What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Monday, May 12th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate and both NBA playoff games. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick out my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Sunday was pretty brutal, guys, and that seems to be a trend here with Sundays. So we're going to try something different next Sunday. Stay tuned for that, but this one was tough. We were on the wrong side of a lot of games. Had the Tigers minus 120. Reese Olson was terrible in that game. The Tigers managed to lose that one 6-1, so that's pretty brutal way to start. We had the Royals minus 130. That was a close 3-1 loss, but Giolito somehow awesome in that game there for Boston. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Hard to see that one coming. Bro, it's been terrible this year. We had the over in that Miami-Chicago White Sox game. There were 14 hits and an error. Somehow only 6 runs scored in that one. We had the Baltimore LA Angels under. Baltimore, best offensive day in so long, and we ended up losing that bet in the 9th inning, so that's brutal. Had the Arizona Diamondbacks at minus 112. Gonsolin was lights out in that one, and Arizona takes an 8-1 loss, only managing a single run. The one positive of the day, we hit our dog of the day, the St. Louis Cardinals at plus 110. They get the 6-1 win there with Michaelis being very good and 3 home runs for the Cardinals. We finished the day off pretty brutal there. The Padres minus 250 after that historic win. They end up losing 9-3. I don't even know what to say about that one. Pretty embarrassing stuff there for the Padres. So we're going to bounce back in this one, guys. We pretty much have to, and let's go ahead and jump into our first game on this kind of short Monday slate. We've got the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the Cleveland Guardians. The Brewers come into this game fresh off of winning Game 3 there against the Tampa Bay Rays. We should have just ran it back with the under in that one because it was a 4-2 game. Yelich and Contreras hit back-to-back home runs in that one. So the Brewers come into this series against the Guardians with a little bit of momentum. They're going to be handing the ball to Freddie Peralta, who is 4-2 this year, a 2.18 ERA. Now, he's been dealing with a little bit of a groin issue, but it sounds like he's going to be fine to make the start in this one. He comes into this game fresh off a very good start there against the Cubs. 6 innings, 4 hits, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, no runs allowed, and what was a 4-0 win there for the Brewers. So he's been looking pretty good. He'll be looking to run it back and look good in this one as well. Now, the bullpen has been a significant issue this season for Milwaukee. It's not like it was great last year. This year they've been showing improvement, but a 4.65 bullpen ERA, not usually going to get the job done. The offense, on the other hand, obviously coming around a little bit with a couple of home runs there in the last game of that series and going up against a pretty decent starter, but 4, 2, 3, 1, and 4 runs over the last few is not what this unit is looking for. 13th in the majors in runs scored, but they're 23rd in batting average, and they are 28th in slugging percentage. So not an offense that really gets me going too much. They're going to be taking on the Guardians, who are 23-17 on the year. They just lost their last 2 games, coming up short there on Sunday Night Baseball against the Phillies. So, yeah, they were in Cleveland for that game, so they don't have to travel or anything like that. They're going to be handing the ball to Ben Lively in this one, who's 2-2 on the year, a 3.46 ERA. Now, his last time out, 5 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run allowed. It was a solo home run in a 9-1 win there against the Washington Nationals. So not like that's the scariest team to face, but still got to give Lively credit there. And he's been very good in 3 out of his last 4 starts. So I'm feeling pretty good about him on the mound. Now, the bullpen situation for Cleveland is also not great. A 4.08 bullpen ERA, slightly worse than MLB average, and not what the Guardians were hoping for coming into this season. Also, the offense, Stephen Kwan hitting the cover off the ball, batting .331 right now. He's doing a great job of setting the plate, but 17th in the majors in runs scored, 22nd in batting average. Not exactly what they had in mind for this offense, and they've scored 0, 1, 6, 8, 9, and 9 runs over the last few. So not a great series there against the Phillies. We'll see what they can do in the plate at this one. Now, the odds makers actually like the Brewers here a good amount. They're minus 135. The Guardians are plus 115. We've got a total of 8. Milwaukee only 8-14 on the road. 12, 8, and 2 to the under on the road. Cleveland 12-7 at home, 11, 7, and 1 to the under at home. I am going to be leaning towards the Guardians here at plus 115. Like, Ben Lively has had his issues this year, but it's not like they were specifically against the Brewers or anything like that. And overall, he's been very decent. Now, I know Peralta is good. No way around that. But the bullpen situation isn't great for these two teams. And with Cleveland getting plus money and being such a good home team, we have to at least consider them as a possible dog of the day. Next on the docket, we've got the Boston Red Sox going on the road to take on the Detroit Tigers. The Red Sox are 22-20 on the year. They just won 2 out of 3 there at Kansas City. So not the easiest place to play. And they did a good job there taking care of business. So they'll definitely take a series win. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Tanner Houck, who's 0-2 on the year, a 6.10 ERA. Not somebody that's been having a great time. Now, he did did have a very good start against Toronto, not the toughest hitting team, but his last time out, 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them were earned, and gave up a home run against the Texas Rangers, who have been a pretty bad offensive team this year. So we'll see what he can do here against the Tigers. It's not maybe the easiest situation. The Tigers in a bit of a bounce back spot here. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, Houck has not had a great season overall, and he has not faced a ton of really, really tough opponents. So that's not a good look for Boston. Neither is their bullpen really right now, although we are seeing some signs of improvement there for the Boston Red Sox bullpen. But still, guys, not really. I'm not 100% sold yet on this bullpen unit, despite the the improvements that they've made here down the stretch. A 3.59 bullpen ERA is technically fine, but I'm still just a little bit concerned. So we'll see what they can do here offensively. The Red Sox 3, 10, 1, 5, and 6 runs over their last few games. Kind of a feast or famine situation. They're 6th in the majors in runs scored. That looks great and all, but they are 9th in batting average, 11th in on-base percentage, 7th in slugging percentage, but they've had some stretches this year where they have not looked nearly as good at the plate. So we'll see what they can come up with here against the Tigers, who let us down yesterday, losing 6-1 there against the Rangers. Now, the Tigers 26-15 on the year, off to a very good start, and some of that has been due to Jackson Jobe. He's 2-0, a 4.88 ERA. This 22-year-old right-hander has done some good stuff this year, but his last couple of outings have left some question marks. He got knocked around a little bit by Houston, but eventually the Tigers bailed him out in a game they won 7-4. Then his last time out back on the 7th, it was at Colorado. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, allowed to give up 2 home runs in that game. But once again, the Tigers bailed him out, scoring 8 runs and winning in extra innings 8-6. So we'll see what he does here against the Red Sox. I would be lying if I said I wasn't significantly concerned for him, but he's back at home. That could help. His last home start was against the Royals, and he was excellent. So I think there's a decent chance he could be good out there. And when he comes out of the game, that Tigers bullpen has been lights out all season long. Now, the offense has hit a little bit of a cold stretch. They've scored 1, 3, and 2 runs over their last few games. Over the course of the year, they're the 4th highest scoring team in the majors. They are 7th in batting average. They are 10th in on-base percentage. So I think they're going to be fine, but right now, maybe not swinging the hottest bats. So looking at the numbers of this game, it's close to a coin flip. The Red Sox are minus 105. The Tigers are minus 115. We've got a total of 8.5. Boston, 11-11 on the road. They're also 11-11 to the over-under when on the road. Detroit, 14-5 at home, a very good home team. 11-5-3 to the under at home. Am I interested in under 8.5 in this game? Not with the way these two starters have been throwing the ball. I would take the over here, if anything. I think it's maybe even got a little bit of value. Now, in terms of a side, I'm not going to back Tanner Houck. I think there's a better chance of Jackson Jobe having a bounce back here. So give me the Tigers as a tiny lean, but really the only thing I'm interested in this game is the over. Next up, guys, we're looking at the St. Louis Cardinals going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Cardinals were our lone win there on Sunday. Pretty brutal stuff. Now, they've been playing amazing. For sure, their best ball of the season. Now, back-to-back series against the Nationals and the Pirates will certainly help, but 7 straight wins is nothing to turn your nose up at. So the Cardinals are 8 straight wins. I'm sorry, I lied. 8 straight wins. So the Cardinals fans got to be pumped about that. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Matthew Liberatore, who's 3-3 on the year, a 3.07 ERA. His last time out, very good against the Pirates. 7 innings, 3 hits, only 1 earned run allowed, 8 strikeouts and 3 walks, and what was eventually a 2-1 win there against the Pirates. So he had to be lights out for the Cardinals to get that win, and he made it happen. So very good stuff there. We've liked, generally speaking, what we've seen from him this season. And he already has a start against the Phillies under his belt back on the 14th of last month. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, 7 strikeouts, and 1 walk against the Phillies in a 7-0 Cardinals win. So have to respect that. That's very, very solid stuff there from Liberatore. So liking that, no doubt about it. The Cardinals bullpen has had its struggles this year for sure, but it's been showing some signs of life. Down to a 4.08 bullpen ERA, creeping up towards MLB average, and obviously, looking pretty good recently, albeit against some pretty bad offenses, which not really what they're going to be going up against here, but we'll see. Now, the Cardinals offense, 6, 4, and 10 runs over the last few games. Lars Nootbaar hitting a leadoff home run there for the Cardinals. That's got to feel great. St. Louis still top 10 in the majors in runs scored, 4th in batting average, batting .261 as a team. You got to like this team at the plate at this point in the year. Like, I didn't really have this on my bingo card that the Cardinals were going to be an amazing offensive team, but looks like maybe they're going to be pretty respectable there at the plate. So we'll see what they can do against a Phillies team that just won their last 2 of that 3-game series there at Cleveland. They won on Sunday Night Baseball. Now they got to travel from Cleveland to St. Louis, so not too crazy, but, it's a travel spot, and they, didn't get to have a day game on Sunday like you would want to have. The Phillies are off to a good start this year, though, 24-16. They're handing the ball to Christopher Sanchez, who is 4-1 this year, a 2.89 ERA. His last time out, 6 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts against the Tampa Bay Rays. So obviously, elite stuff there. Now, the last time he faced the Cardinals was back on the 12th, so this is a not quite a rematch of these two pitchers, but, the last time he was against the Cardinals, it was in St. Louis, just like this. This one is going to be in Philadelphia. He went 6 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits, 1 earned run, struck out 3, and walked 2. Not his best stuff, but the Phillies did win that game 4-1. So, a little bit worried about Sanchez in this matchup. I'm always going to be worried about that Phillies bullpen, at least for a while still. I mean, a 4.66 bullpen ERA, while obviously still bad, is headed in the right direction. This was looking like one of the worst bullpens in the majors there for a while, but it's gotten much better. The offense obviously doing some good stuff. 3, 7, 0, 7, 7, and 8 runs over the last few. Schwarber hitting 2 home runs, now tied with Aaron Judge atop the MLB with a kind of staggering 14 home runs here out of the gate. And I'm even more impressed with the fact he's still batting well over 250. So that's all good stuff. Obviously, the offense fully coming around here with the Phillies. They're up to 10th in the majors in runs scored, 6th in the majors in batting average. They're a top 10 slugging percentage team as well. So a lot of positives stacking up here for the Phillies. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, I expected to see it much closer given the history these two pitchers have against these teams and the way they've been throwing the ball recently. But what we see is the Cardinals as big underdogs. They're plus 155. The Phillies are minus 190. We've got a total of 8 or 8.5. Both numbers are still out there. The Cardinals 7-13 on the road, 11, 8-1 to the over on the road. The Phillies 13-6 at home, 11-8 to the over at home. So both teams showing trends towards the over, and there's an 8 out there. You could maybe theoretically talk me into over 8 with the idea that both teams are going to do a good job putting up runs against each opponent's bullpen, but I don't love that. I think the value in this game, you kind of got to take the red-hot Cardinals. Like, plus 155 is a lot. Liberatore has had, success against the Phillies already this year. The Cardinals offense comes into this one killing it even more than the Phillies is. So, yeah, I'm going to lean towards the Cardinals here at plus 155. I don't know if I've got the guts to make it my dog of the day. I would say it's got something of a chance, but also Sanchez is very, very good out there. So that does scare us off a little. Jumping in here, guys, with a quick shout out to our sponsor, and that, as you all should know by now, is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last 3 years running and is off to a great start to the year. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there. You can use our free-to-use bet size calculator. That's also where you will find our premium top confidence picks, which might not always and usually will not match what you see here in the video, as I am not the premium capper for StumpTheSpread.com. You need to sign up for our free email newsletter as well, guys. It's absolutely free. All they need is your name and your email address to set up a free account, and you'll be getting one email every single day straight to your inbox. It'll have at least one free pick in it. It can have free pick parlays. I know there was a UFC parlay that went out the other day. Like, lots of very good stuff. There will also be information on niche bets that you wouldn't normally think about, like maybe golf, NASCAR, horse racing. All kinds of weird stuff can end up in there, and it's free. All you gotta do is get on that email address. You can also get updates on our results, all kinds of good stuff in there. So definitely get over there, sign up for that free email address. If you're having issues getting those emails, make sure you check your spam folder. They tend to end up in there a decent amount, which is kind of weird. We've worked on that, but what are you going to do? If you're a huge fan of what we do here every single day, you can sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members are eligible for our members-only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random channel member on May 20th. And guys, we've been getting quite a few members here recently. What are we up to now? I'm giving you a live update. We're at 68 members. So if we get 2 more members there by the 20th, we're going to be giving away 2 pieces of Stump the Spread merchandise. So a hoodie or a t-shirt. If you win the members only giveaway, you'll get to pick whether you want a hoodie or a t-shirt, and I will ship that straight to your house. I think they usually make them to the winners by like 6 or 7 days. It's kind of crazy. So hopefully that keeps up and I didn't just jinx it. But yeah, it's been very, very quick getting those out to you guys. So alt members also get early access to our videos and get their names up on screen in every single video. So consider signing up for that if it's something you might be interested in. Now, guys, let's hop back into these games. Next up, we're going to be looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Pirates come into this game 14-27 on the year. They did just win 2 out of 3 there against the Braves, so I'm sure that feels great. They're going to be handing the ball in this one, though, to Paul Skeens, who's not having the beginning of the year that many expected. We've actually taken the opposite of Skeens a couple times and had it work out. He's 3-4 on the year, a 2.77 ERA. He's a young guy. He's still got some stuff to figure out. He pitched at St. Louis his last time out, and it didn't go the way he would have wanted. He was pretty good. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. He did walk 4, but struck out 6. Unfortunately for him, the Pirates lose that game 2-1. So pretty brutal there for Skeens. He's had a good season. He's got great stuff, yada, yada, but he hasn't looked untouchable. He struggled against the Cubs. He struggled a little bit against Cleveland. Not a ton, but a little bit. So he's a young guy. He's going to have some growing pains out there. Let's have some patience here for Skeens. Now, the bullpen situation for the Pirates, they've had some patience, and it is improving slowly. A 4.24 bullpen ERA is not terrible. It's much better than we've seen from them at other points this series. Now, they did have to walk it off there, in the bottom of the 9th inning to get that win, but they'll definitely take it. The offense has not been looking very good, though, guys. They've scored 4, 2, 3, 0, 1, and 3 runs over their last few games. Nobody's hitting the ball particularly well. For the Pirates, they are the lowest scoring offense in the major leagues, dead last 30th with 127 runs scored through, up to now, 41 games. That's a bit rough. That's a bit rough, guys. They're 27th in batting average. They're 29th in slugging percentage. Just not a good offense. There's no way around it. They don't have a lot of great hitters. So how are they going to come up with enough offense to beat the Mets here? Well, that could be a bit of a big ask. The Mets are 26-15 on the year. They just won 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. So things are kind of going the Mets' way. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to David Peterson, who's 2-2 this season, a 3.05 ERA. He's been very serviceable. Now, he did just have back-to-back starts against Arizona. The first one went really well. That was a home start. The next one, he was on the road at Arizona and gave up 4 runs. 2 of them were earned. That wasn't his best outing, but generally speaking, he's looked very good this season, even against some pretty good teams, like a good start there against the Phillies, a pretty good start against the Cardinals, who have been a decent offense. Like, you guys kind of get it. Peterson's done a good job, and the Mets bullpen has also been excellent. They are 6th right now in the majors, a 3.16 bullpen ERA. So not a lot of complaints from me about their pitching staff right now. And the offense is doing its thing. Lindor is red hot, hit a big home run there. If you saw it, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, go ahead home run there and to start that 4-run 8th inning that helped the Mets get that win against the Cubs there on Sunday. But very, very good stuff. Their offense has scored 6, 5, 7, 7, 1, and 5 runs over their last few games. Pete Alonso's cooled off a little bit, but seems like he's figuring it out again. They're 8th in the majors in runs scored. They're 5th in the majors in on-base percentage. No question about it, guys. The Mets have a scary, scary offense. So I'm not shocked to see them as favorites in this game. I'm a little bit shocked to see it's not a little bit bigger, although I guess going up against Skeens is the thing here. The Pirates are plus 118. The Mets are minus 135. We've got totals out there of 7 or 7.5. The Pirates are only 5-14 on the road. They're 12-6-1 to the under on the road. The Mets 15-4 at home. 15-4. They're 11-7-1 to the under at home. So if you wanted to take under 7.5 in this game, I could wrap my head around that for sure. I think that would be an interesting way. Like if you just wanted to bet the Pirates, you could also just take the Pirates at plus 118, or you take the under. Both of those seem like vaguely similar to me, but I'm going to just roll with the Mets here. I like Peterson on the mound a good amount. I like the Mets bullpen way better than I like the Pirates bullpen. I also like the Mets offense a good amount, and I'm not really that sold on Skeens just going to go out there and pitch a complete game shutout, which is kind of what you have to do to win a game for the Pirates. Next up, we're looking at the Washington Nationals going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. The Nationals come into this game, guys, 17-24 on the year. They've lost 5 in a row now, just getting swept by the Cardinals. They're going to be hitting the ball to Jake Irvin, hoping he can turn things around for him. And he's been good this year, 2-1, a 3.94 ERA. Now, his last time out, a serviceable but not dominant start against Cleveland. He only gave up 2 earned runs over 5 1/3 in a game Washington eventually won 10-9. So that tells you something about this bullpen, which has been horrifyingly bad. A 7.13 bullpen ERA. And this deep into the season, it's just starting to look like that's how bad the Washington Nationals bullpen is. They're terrible. They are terrible. So we'll see if they can be any better in this series, but it's not looking great. Neither is the offense, guys. They scored 1, 2, and 0 runs there in that series against the Cardinals. They've got some pieces like Ruiz is decent. Nathaniel Lowe's off to a good start, but 16th in the majors in runs scored and 18th in the majors in batting average seems like a little bit of an exaggeration of what this offense is actually going to be like. I do not think they're going to be very good at the plate. I think they'll finish around 20th if I had to guess. So we'll see what they do out there in this one going up against the Braves, who are 19-21 on the year. They just lost Game 3 of that series against the Pirates, so I'm sure they're tilted about that one. Now they have to travel from Pittsburgh to Washington. That's not a terrible flight, and they're going to be hitting the ball in this game to Grant Holmes, who's had an up-and-down year. He's 2-3, a 4.58 ERA. Now, his last start, not a good one against the Cincinnati Reds. 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, gave up a couple home runs, and he's given up a total of 6 home runs over his last 3 games. That is a concerning trend. Now, Two of those starts were, again, one was against the Dodgers, one was against Arizona. Those are some pretty tough teams to go up against, and now he gets to go up against the Nationals, so I would say he's got a chance to have a little bit easier of a road in this one. We'll see how that goes. The Atlanta Braves bullpen, not as good as the last season, but a 3.62 bullpen ERA at least has them in the top half of the majors. The offense has also been a big problem with this team. I mean, they're 21st in the majors in runs scored. They are 21st in batting average as well. They scored 3, 3, and 2 runs against the Pirates in that series. Like, that's concerning. That's for sure concerning. So looking at the numbers for this one, the Nationals are plus 150. The Braves are minus 170. We've got a total of 8.5. The Nationals are only 7-12 on the road, 11-8 to the under on the road. Atlanta 12-6 at home, 10-7-1 to the under at home. I don't think under 8.5 is bad in this game. I think that's totally fine. I could see both starters having a decent outings out there, but in terms of a side, I'm going to lean towards the Nationals at plus 150. You could also take the Nationals in the first 5 to avoid that bullpen situation. I wouldn't blame anyone that wanted to do that, but I think we'll see Jake Irvin have a very good outing here against a weak hitting Atlanta Braves team, and that could put the Nationals in a pretty good spot to potentially win this game. Next up, we're looking at the Miami Marlins going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. The Marlins 15-24 on the year. They just lost 2 out of 3 at the White Sox, so that probably feels pretty mediocre. Now, they're going to be handing the ball to Cal Quantrill in this game. He's 2-3, a 7.11 ERA. Now, his last start was a very good one against the Dodgers of all teams. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed, in a shocking 5-4 win there for the Marlins. So they'll certainly take that. Now, that has not been the norm for him this season, and it starts before that. One of them was against the Dodgers. He gave up 4 runs in 3 2/3, 4 runs in 5 2/3, and 7 runs in 3 1/3 there against the Phillies. So he has not been good this year. Just happened to have a very good start his last time out. So we'll see if he can run it back. It's not impossible, but seems a bit unlikely. And he's going up against another tough offense. Now, when he comes out of the game, you're looking at a bottom 5 bullpen in the Miami Marlins. 25th in the majors, a 5.05 bullpen ERA. And it's not like the offense is on fire, obviously. I mean, 2, 3, 2, 1, and 5 runs over their last few games. They're 18th in the majors in runs scored. They are 20th in slugging percentage. This is not a good offense, guys. There's nobody that I'm particularly scared of up there at the plate. I'm just not too worried about them if I'm the Chicago Cubs, who come into this game 23-18 on the year. They've actually lost 4 out of their last 5. Kind of disappointing end to their series there against the Mets. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Colin Ray, and I'm sure they're very excited to get back home. Colin Ray is actually 2-0 on the year, a 2.43 ERA, so very serviceable, despite his last start being quite the debacle. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs against the San Francisco Giants. So he's in need of a bounce back. He had been very good in his 4 starts before that, even good in a start against the Phillies, Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers. He had been lights out. So expecting a bounce back from him here, unless he's hurt, which there's really no indication of that. So expecting Colin Ray to be very good in this one. The Cubs bullpen is a problem. A 4.75 bullpen ERA has them, 24th or something like that in the majors. Not very good, 23rd. So I'm worried about the bullpen. They weren't horrible, I guess, in that series. Well, no, they were pretty bad. They were pretty bad in that series against the Mets. So we'll see what the bullpen does in this one. I am worried about that, but it could be okay. Now, the offense for the Cubs has been great this year overall. They're currently the highest scoring team in the majors. They're top 10 in batting average. They're 3rd in slugging percentage. Like, this is a great offense. Happ sounds like he could be back here pretty quick. Kyle Tucker hitting the cover off the ball. Nico Horner hitting the ball really, really well. Like, this is an elite level offense that's just been in a bit of a slump lately, and going up against the Marlins and playing at home could be the perfect recipe to get back on track. Now, the Marlins are plus 205 in this game. The Cubs are minus 250. We've got a total of 8.5. Miami, 5-12 on the road, 12-5 to the over on the road. That's actually an MLB best mark to the over when playing on the road. The Cubs are 10-7 at home, 11-5-1 to the over at home. So with a total of 8.5 here, guys, we have to consider the over in this game. We certainly have to consider the over in this game. I mean, it's got a good chance to go in the pin comment. I do like the chances of Colin Ray having a good start. I think Kyle Quantrill could get shelled, and the Cubs could maybe cover this 8.5 points all on their own, which is a reason that we also have to consider taking the Cubs at minus 250 as our lock of the day. I know it's a very expensive price tag, but that is what the lock of the day is about. And after losing in just ridiculous fashion yesterday on that Padres play where the Padres just didn't show up, we're looking for a good one to cash with a high degree of confidence in this game. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Colorado Rockies going on the road here to take on the Texas Rangers. Now, the Rockies bounce back under a new manager. Yeah, or I guess in the final game there of Bud Black being the manager, I would say the writing was probably on the wall already, but they get the crazy 9-3 win there. Pretty annoying stuff for us, but we'll see what they do in this one. They're 7-33 on the year, handing the ball to Chase Dollander, who's 2-3 this season, a 7.71 ERA. He got shelled by the Detroit Tigers his last time out. Start for that was great against Atlanta, but you can kind of see, I mean, this young guy, not super reliable out there on the mound this year. It has not been an easy situation to pitch in either. Now, the Rockies bullpen has been a little bit better than last season, a 4.12 bullpen ERA. Still not exactly elite. They scored 9 runs there in Game 3 of this series, but overall have been terrible at the plate. I mean, they're 29th in the majors in runs scored. They're 28th in batting average. This is a really bad team, guys. This is really bad. You don't lose 21-0 like they did in Game 2 without being pretty freaking bad. So we'll see what they can do in this one in Game 1 of this series against the Texas Rangers, who just won 2 out of 3 there at the Tigers. So impressive stuff there. Eovaldi looking great in his 7 shutout innings. Now, the Rangers are going to be handing the ball in this one to Tyler Mayhill, who's 3-1 on the year, a 1.48 ERA. His last time out, though, gave up 2 earned runs over 5 innings. They were both solo home runs against the Red Sox in a 6-4 loss. And Bros had a really hard time getting any run support out there, which obviously that's a problem that's going to face every Texas Rangers starting pitcher. But still, he's been very good. Very good. Can't complain about him. The Rangers bullpen, around MLB average, a 3.96 bullpen ERA is not great, but it's okay. The offense seems like it's coming alive a little bit. They've scored 6, 10, 1, and 0 runs over their last few games. So the last couple games, things are looking pretty good at the plate. Is that going to be the way things go from now on? Seems unlikely. They're 28th in the majors in runs scored and 27th in the majors in on-base percentage. So looking at the numbers for this game, we see the Rockies at plus 230, the Rangers at minus 285. We've got a total of 8.5. Colorado's 2-17 on the road. That's an MLB worst mark. They're 13-6 to the under on the road. That is an MLB best to the under when on the road. The Rangers 12-8 at home, 16-4 to the under when playing at home. That's an MLB best to the under at home. With a total here of 8.5, I am definitely taking it. I thought the total in this game would be 7.5 or 7, but I'll definitely take the under in this one. Obviously, the Rockies more than capable of imploding here, but it seems like they're taking things a little bit more seriously, and with a new coach, a new manager, that could help as well. So definitely give me under 8.5 in this one. It's going straight to the pinned comment. Next up, guys, we got the Kansas City Royals. They're going on the road in this one to take on the Houston Astros. Now, the Royals have had a pretty interesting year overall. We'll see what they can get done in this one. Now, they're going to be trying to bounce back from losing the last 2 games of that series against the Red Sox. They're going to be handing the ball in this game to Michael Wacha, who's 2-4 on the year, a 2.98 ERA. Now, his last start was a gem, albeit against the White Sox, but 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, and a 2-1 win there for the Royals. So he had to be really good, and he was really good, and he's been very good overall this season. So despite his poor record, I think Wacha is throwing the ball really, really well right now, and I'm expecting good stuff to continue for him. In terms of the bullpen for the Royals, it's been excellent. Top 5 in the majors, a 3.02 bullpen ERA. Not a lot to complain about there. They are 24-18 on the year, and some of that is due to their struggles on offense. They could be even better. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. hitting the ball well, that's great, but they're still only 24th in the majors in runs scored and 25th in on-base percentage, but that team batting average has spiked all the way up to 242. That's 16th in the majors. So I think this team is in to be a little bit better at the plate here. We'll see if that happens against the Astros, who just won 2 out of 3 against the Reds. They're 20-19 on the year, hitting the ball in this game to Ryan Gusto, who is 26 years old, sporting a 2.93 ERA and making a start in this one after having a horrifying bullpen appearance there against the White Sox. Now, he's going back out there as a starter, which maybe he's been better this year. It's been pretty all over the place, though. A decent start against the Tigers, but not elite. A good start against the Toronto Blue Jays, so that's nice. Good start, but he had to pitch out of tons of trouble there against the Padres, so we'll see what he does in this one. It's a little bit tough to figure out, and this guy's in and out of the bullpen, so we'll see how he does as a starter. Now, the bullpen in general for the Astros has been excellent this year. A 2.93 bullpen ERA has them 3rd best coming out of the pen in the majors. The offense has been a problem, but they've scored 6, 9, 3, 9, and 3 runs over their last few games, so that's definitely headed in the right direction. Altuve's been missing some time with that hamstring, so that's a concern. They're 19th in the majors in runs scored. They're 21st in slugging percentage, but most of their hitting numbers are finally showing some signs of getting better. So, looking at the numbers for this one, the Royals, they're minus 105. The Astros are minus 115. We've got a total of 8.5. Kansas City, 8-11 on the road. 12-6-1 to the under on the road. Houston, 13-8 at home. 12-9 to the under at home. I think under 8.5 is certainly live in this game, no doubt about that. Now, I do think we also would probably want to take a little bit of a look at the Royals here going up against a bullpen start out of Houston, but the Houston bullpen's been good, so I think I like the under a little bit more than I like the side on this one. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. The Angels come into this game 16-23 on the year. They're going to be handing the ball into Yusei Kikuchi, hoping he can help them bounce back from not a great series there against Baltimore. Kikuchi 0-4 on the year, a 3.83 ERA. Now, has not really been his fault too much. I mean, his last couple of starts were very, very good. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, but we see the Angels only going 1-1 in those games, which a big part of that issue is their bullpen is horrible, second worst in the majors, a 6.94 bullpen ERA. And it's not like the offense is great either. They've scored 3, 5, 1, 5, and 5 runs over their last few, which is big numbers considering this team is 25th in the majors in runs scored and 29th in batting average. So we'll see what they can do here against the Padres, who are in a huge bounce back spot after aggressively letting us down there in Game 3 against the Rockies. They lost 9-3 there. Not a good look. Now, the Padres are going to be handing the ball in this game to Michael King, who's been very good this year, a 4-1 record, a 2.22 ERA. His last start, very solid there against the Yankees, but the bullpen imploded there for the Padres. Not something that's happened often this year. They're all the way up to a 2.94 bullpen ERA, which is, still fourth in the majors, but not as good as what we've seen from them in general. But overall, Michael King has been dominant this season. No doubt about that. So we'll see what he can do out there, see if the offense can bounce back from a 3-run game there at Colorado in Game 3 of that series. Overall this year, we've seen Manny Machado be amazing. Fernando Tatis has been good, although he's been struggling a little bit recently, but they're still first in the majors in batting average, 7th in on-base percentage. They're 15th in runs scored, though, so this team due to put up some offense. So we'll see if they can do that in this game. The odds makers certainly think it's going to happen. The Angels are plus 180. The Padres are minus 220. We've got a total of 7 in this game. The Angels are 7-13 on the year. They're 11-9 to the over on the road, so pretty decent stuff there. We see the Padres 14-4 at home, dominant stuff, 11-6-1 to the under at home. So not super interested in the total in this game. I'll definitely take the Padres at minus 220 if you're begging me for a side. Now, Kikuchi being on the mound is a little bit of a concern. He has the possibility to be, pretty darn good out there, and he hasn't faced the Padres yet this season, so don't have that kind of head-to-head information, but I think Michael King and the Padres are going to get it done, even if it has to happen against that terrible Angels bullpen. Rounding in the home stretch here on the MLB part of this video before we hop over to the NBA slide, we are looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Seattle Mariners. Now, the Yankees just won 2 out of 3 against the Athletics. They're 23-17 on the year, so they're doing some good stuff. Aaron Judge obviously doing insane stuff offensively this year. The Yankees are going to be handing the ball in this game to Clark Schmidt. He's 0-1 on the year, a 4.79 ERA. Now, his last outing, very good against the Padres, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. So pitched his way out of trouble and got tons of run support. So that's a good recipe for a win. We'll see what he can do here against the Mariners. The Yankees bullpen has been struggling a little bit here down the stretch. A 3.63 bullpen ERA, not looking nearly as good as they were in the early portion of the schedule. And the offense has a large burden to carry, but they scored 12, 7, 10, 4, and 12 runs over the last few. Aaron Judge batting .409 with 14 home runs and 39 RBIs is absolutely bonkers, and they're second in the majors in runs scored and first in on-base percentage. So nothing negative to say about the Yankees offense. They're taking on the Mariners, who are 22-17 on the year. They've lost 3 in a row, just getting swept there by the Blue Jays. They're going to be hitting the ball to Emerson Hancock, who's 1-1 on the year, a 5.70 ERA. Doesn't exactly fill me with optimism. Now, his last few starts have all been very, very good. He hasn't faced any offense that's nearly as good as the Yankees, though. And the last time he faced a good offense, it was the Tigers, and he got absolutely obliterated. So we'll see what he does in this one. He's a young guy. Facing the Yankees could be a little bit intimidating. That Mariners bullpen isn't probably intimidating, but it's good. A 3.55 bullpen ERA. The offense has been very good this season compared to last year, obviously, but recently a little bit of a downturn. 1, 3, and 3 runs in their series against the Blue Jays. Now they're going to face the Yankees. That seems like kind of a big ask for a team that's 15th in the majors in batting average, so maybe not quite that dangerous at the plate. Now, looking at the numbers, the Yankees are minus 135. The Mariners are plus 110. We've got a total of 8.5. The Yankees 10-9 on the road, 9-8-2 to the over on the road. Seattle 12-9 at home, 12-7-2 to the over at home. So maybe over 8.5 could be live in this game, I suppose, but I'm not really worried about that. I'm much more interested in taking the Yankees here at minus 135. I think they're by far the better team. Clark Schmidt's been looking like the better starter this season. He's only had, like one hiccup start, and his last two have been excellent. Even a good start against the Padres. So having a good start against the Mariners should be fairly straightforward. And I think that price on the Yankees is excellent. In our last MLB game, before we hop over to that NBA slate, we've got the Arizona Diamondbacks going on the road here to take on the San Francisco Giants. The Diamondbacks come into this game, just split a 4-game series there with the Dodgers. They're 21-20 on the year, handing the ball to Merrill Kelly, who's 3-2 this season, a 4.05 ERA. His last start was against the Mets, and it wasn't amazing. 6 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and gave up a home run. Now, he struck out 6 and walked 0, but got very little run support, and we eventually end up seeing the Diamondbacks lose that game 7-1. Overall, I mean, he's been good. He hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs. Has only given up 3 earned runs once, and he has given up 1 earned run in 3 out of his last 5 starts. So he's been good. He's been good. There's no way around it. Merrill Kelly's been throwing the ball well. I expect to see a solid outing from him in this one. The problem for the Diamondbacks generally in terms of the pitching situation is their bullpen, which is bad. Bottom 6 in the majors, a 5.02 bullpen ERA is a pretty big yikes. And the offense, I mean, it's been a little bit all over the place recently. 1, 3, 11... 5 and 1 runs over their last few games. It's a little bit feast or famine. They're 5th in the majors in runs scored and 4th in the majors in slugging percentage, so I'm not trying to talk any crap. This is a good offense, but can we rely on them? We'll see. We'll see what they do here against the Giants. They come into this game desperately needing a win. They just got swept there at Minnesota. They're going to be handing the ball in this one to Justin Verlander, who's 0-2 on the year, a 4.50 ERA. He's fresh off of a 5-inning, 5-hit, 3 earned run start there against the Cubs, where we eventually saw, that was a crazy one, guys. We eventually saw the Giants win that game after almost losing in the 10th inning, win it in the 11th inning, 14-5. So that was pretty bonkers. Verlander looked fine out there, and he's looked fine in general recently. Over his last 4 starts, he's been pretty serviceable, but 3 of those starts were against horrible teams. This is against a pretty dangerous offense. So we'll see what he can do. We'll see what the bullpen looks like there from the Giants. It's been excellent. Tops in the majors right now, a 2.53 bullpen ERA. The offense, after a hot start, is starting to normalize. 12th in the majors in runs scored is not going to be the reality, guys. They're 25th in batting average and 23rd in on-base percentage, and they've scored 6, 1, 1, and 3 runs over their last few games. That seems much more like what I expected from the Giants this year. So, looking at the numbers, the Diamondbacks are minus 105. The Giants are minus 115. We've got totals out there of 8 or 7.5. Arizona's 10-8 on the road, 9-8-1 to the over on the road. San Francisco is 12-5 at home. They're 10-7 to the under at home. I will definitely take Merrill Kelly and the Diamondbacks over Verlander here. Arizona at minus 105 seems like very, very good value. This is a play that definitely has a chance to end up in the pinned comment. I think Verlander is going to struggle here against an elite offense. Now, guys, hopping over to take a look at the 2 NBA playoff games we've got out there on Monday. And first up, we've got the Boston Celtics headed to Madison Square Garden to take on the Knicks. Now, we saw the Celtics get themselves back into the series in Game 3, winning that one 115-93 behind a hot shooting night. Boston knocked down 20 of their 43s, so 50% from the long range is a pretty tough thing to beat. Now, Tatum, 5 of 9 from 3, found his shot, 22 points, a plus 23 out there. Good night from him. Good night from Jaylen Brown. Overall, just a very nice night for the Celtics. Also, 23 points off the bench from Peyton Pritchard. That was cool to watch. That was pretty cool to watch. As a white hooper, that was pretty cool to watch. So we'll see what happens the rest of the way here, but I'm sure the Celtics were hyped about that win. They really, really desperately needed it. They come into this game looking fully healthy there. Sam Hauser probably going to be out, but other than that, they're ready to go. We did see Porzingis play there in Game 3. Didn't play a ton, only ended up with 19 minutes off the bench. Couldn't score from the field, but made 5 out of his 6 free throws and had 4 rebounds. So yeah, we'll see what he does in this one. He was a plus 11, managed to have 5 fouls in those 19 minutes. Him being out there makes this team very, very scary. So we'll see what they do in this one going up against the Knicks, who had a chance to kind of seal things up but couldn't get the job done. They, I don't know. You can't be too upset. You just won the first 2 games of the series. You're going to probably lose one in a series against the Celtics. Karl-Anthony Towns was very good. 21 points from him. Only 1 of 5 from 3, but had 15 boards. So that prop on his rebounds looking pretty good. Jaylen Brown, 9 of 21 from the field, 27 points. He was good, but a minus 16. That's not great, and the bench continues to be a black hole with no production there for the Knicks. So we'll see what goes on with them in this game. I mean, they come into it looking fully healthy. That's super helpful at this point in the year, but I'm a little bit concerned about the Knicks. Now, looking at the numbers here, so are the odds makers. New York getting 6.5 points at home. We've got a total of 209 out there. Boston, 22-21-1 against the spread on the road. 49-40-1 to the under. The Knicks, 22-22-1 against the spread at home. 45, 44, and 2 to the over. So not a lot to go off of there, obviously, in terms of the trends, but I'm going to be leaning here towards the Boston Celtics at -6.5. I think they find a way to, even things up again. I think they showed they are the far better team, especially when Porzingis plays. We're going to see him out there once again. I think we could see back-to-back good shooting nights from Boston. So give me the Celtics here as a small lean to win this game by at least 7. And with that likely to happen, in my opinion, or at least semi-likely to happen, in my opinion, I will take the over at 209 in this game as a very, very slight lean. But I'm much more interested in the player props on this game than I am on the side or the total. And first up, guys, we're going back to the well here. I like Derek White over 16.5 points. He had 17 on very efficient shooting numbers in Game 3. Had to make way for Pritchard having his monster night, so I think there's a great chance he gets to put up good numbers again in this game and gets more shots, and when he's getting to shoot the ball, it's going to go in. He's going to put up some points. So over 16.5 points seems very, very live. I also like the over on his rebounds. That seems serviceable as well, but a rebounding prop I like even better than that. I like Karl-Anthony Towns here over 11.5 boards. He had 15 rebounds in Game 3, generally avoided foul trouble, and we see him continue to get his numbers on the glass even with Porzingis coming back and Horford crashing the boards aggressively there for Boston. So yeah, Karl-Anthony Towns, he's going to find his way to 12 to 15 rebounds once again here in Game 4. In our last game of the night, we get the Minnesota Timberwolves going on the road to take on the Golden State Warriors. The Timberwolves are now up 2 games to 1 after winning there in Game 3. The Warriors had a great chance to win one there at home in front of the home fans, but too many late game mistakes ended them with a 102 to 97 loss there against the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves had to be pumped to see Anthony Edwards' jump shot return. He was only 5 of 14 from three-point range, so not exactly an insane shooting night, but had 36 points out there, was getting to the bucket, some big dunks. He looked really, really good out there, so he played great. Julius Randle played really, really well. Nothing major coming off the bench necessarily, although Naz Reid shot the lights out. 3 of 3 from deep is a great look. But overall, guys, I think the Timberwolves probably feel like they're in control of this series. But if Steph Curry was out there, I think they'd be pretty freaking worried. The Timberwolves, in terms of their health, come into this game fully healthy and ready to go, taking on a Warriors team that's got to be kind of depressed, but I would think still pretty determined to find a way to steal a game here and give Steph at least an outside chance to return. Jimmy Butler came up big with 33 points in the loss, 2 of 4 from 3, got to the free throw line a decent amount, played 43 minutes, 7 boards, 7 assists. He did basically everything you could possibly ask. The problem is Draymond Green managed to foul out of this game, which I got to tell you guys, this was a masterpiece of a Scott Foster officiated game. He made himself the center of attention early and often. We saw Kevon Looney and Draymond Green both foul out of this game. There were 5 fouls on both Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley, but neither one of them managed to foul out, which is kind of interesting. 30 points off the bench from Kuminga was nuts. He's not usually going to go 3 of 4 from the three-point line, so he did a lot of good stuff, but asking him to repeat that seems like a bit much. Buddy Hield shot the ball well, but only had 14 points in his 32 minutes. He's got to find a way to score more. Draymond's got to find a way to stay on the floor and to score more as well. So we'll see what adjustments the Warriors can make. The biggest one would probably be Podziemski managing to shoot the ball like he has ever shot a basketball before. 1 of 10 from the field for 5 points. Another big part of why the Warriors lost that game. So looking at the numbers for this one, the Warriors are getting 5.5 points. We've got a total of 200 in this game. Minnesota 24 and 21 against spread on the road. 47 and 43 to the over. The Warriors 20, 25 and 1 against spread at home. 47 and 46 to the under. We had the Warriors plus 5.5 and got we didn't have the Warriors plus 5.5. We had the Timberwolves minus 5.5 and got screwed there by the hook in the last game. So we're going to be taking the Warriors, getting 5.5 points in this one. This is their last real chance here to extend this series. So give me a small lean on the Warriors, getting 5.5. Give me a small lean on the under, but none of that's going in the pinned comment, guys. Once again, a situation I like the props way more than I like the total or the side in this game. And I like Jimmy Butler here, over 26.5 points. He got to the free throw line 9 times in Game 3, and several times it seemed like he had the Warriors in position to win before other players messed things up, like Draymond and Podziemski. He had 33 points. I'm expecting another big night from playoff Jimmy Butler here in Game 4. I also like Buddy Hield, over 13.5 points. Didn't have a good offensive night there in Game 3, but still had 14 points. And if the Warriors are going to steal a game here without Curry, then this basically has to be it. And Hield's going to have to do a lot of scoring to help out Jimmy. So I think this is a pretty decent spot to take Hield's over on his points. That's all the games we have for tonight, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get in the comments. Let me know any questions you have on today's slate. More importantly, get over to stumpthespread.com and get on that free email list. It's absolutely free, and it's just great information straight to your inbox every single day. And all they need is your name and your email address. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com like I was saying, and we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.